Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and coming up here on today's show, I have the latest injury news that I know everyone amongst the nation is looking for in our big-time Monday Night Football game up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, obviously, if you're going to take down a team like Kansas City in Arrowhead, when you're more than a touchdown underdog, you need to have a lot of those key players out there available, and you need to have the depth. We are going to start the show off with some bad news, and then we'll basically gravitate towards some good news. The first thing coming up here is going to be around Jayon Brown, linebacker for the Raiders. He was signed this offseason, I actually think, in particular, to be able to handle Kansas City, to be able to handle Travis Kelce. Now, he's not going to be able to play in this game dealing with a hamstring injury. That's the bad news. The good news is the Raiders were able to sign Blake Martinez to the active roster, so he's going to get some run in this upcoming game. Really curious to see what he ends up looking like in Patrick Graham's defense, but obviously not having Jayon Brown, it is a little bit frustrating. That's the bad news. Now let's go to the glass half full. Good news here. I like Brown a lot, but you know what? If not having Brown means we can have a dude like Denzel Perryman playing in this game, I'm all for that. He's obviously missed 2 games already this season. He is expected to play. He was dealing with a concussion injury. And anytime you see concussions, especially with this week, I know I've mentioned this literally 10 times probably on the show, but after the whole Tua Tagovailoa situation, it was going to be important for Perriman to pass everything that he needed to, and luckily it does look like you're going to have that. So when you look at the Raiders' linebacker depth chart, this is what I am going to anticipate for this upcoming week against Kansas City. Obviously, Jayon Brown is injured, not going to be playing. Look for Denzel Perryman, Blake Martinez, Divine Diablo. That, to me, is going to be your 3-headed linebacker unit. And don't get me wrong, stopping the run, Perriman I know can do. I believe in Blake Martinez, but there is obviously still a lot of question marks there. I'm hoping that Divine Diablo can elevate his game overall. So when you really think about Perriman, you think about Diablo, you think about Blake Martinez, the Raiders Report is about asking questions. So here's my question to all of you right now here on the show. Your confidence level in the Raiders linebacking unit. 1, you are not confident whatsoever in this group. 10, you are extremely confident in this group. Obviously, I would like to have Jayon Brown, but again, Brown has really been struggling thus far. I'm going to sit up here and say I got a 6. Perriman is the player that I believe in the most. I am still waiting for Divine Diablo to take that next step. I know he has the athletic ability, but we've been kind of doing this same song and dance now for 4 weeks, if you will. And then Blake Martinez, he's going to be a good player coach out there. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 6. Now let's talk about some more players here on the Raiders injury report. Foster Moreau, he is questionable to play against Kansas City. He missed last week with the knee. All week he's been limited. From what I understand, it's going to be a game-time decision. So he's going to go out there on Monday. He's going to test it out. If he feels like, hey, I'm good to go, you'll see him out there on the field. If he's unable to go, it's probably going to be more work for Darren Waller, who we're about to talk about here in just a second. Also, more injury news here is Sam Webb. Sam Webb, he's also questionable for Kansas City. So Jayon Brown is out. Foster Moreau, Sam Webb are all questionable. And realistically, those are the only players that you don't know whether or not if you're going to be able to see them this upcoming week. When you're going up against Patrick Mahomes in this elite offense led by Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, they're going to hit you with a lot of different things. It's what they do. Do I think Sam Webb's going to be a big-time player? No, not necessarily. But you know what? If you need that extra depth, if you need that extra breather, the reason why having all of your players healthy against Kansas City is because you just can't give up that big play. Because if you give up that big play to Mahomes and then he gets hot, it's really hard to slow him and that Chiefs offense down. Now, if you love the Raiders, if you're looking for just free videos every single day, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, because not only do we keep you guys up to date with news, with rumors, we also provide a lot of analysis, whether that be a Raiders mailbag, whether that be me going live every single Tuesday, whether it's Jugs and I live on Thursday or game day. If you love the Raiders, we're your channel for you, so hit that subscribe button. Let's go to some really good news here, right? It's Hunter Renfrow. And do I wish Renfrow would have played last week against Denver? Of course I do. But if you would have told me that the plan all along was to make sure that Renfrow was going to be ready to go up against Kansas City, I'm all on board for it. Yeah, Devontae Adams is that dude. Renfrow, Waller, they could definitely improve a little bit this upcoming season. But if Renfrow's out there, it gives your offense another piece that can really get this thing going. Not only is Hunter Renfrow expected to play, tight end Darren Waller is also expected to play. So for the first time, realistically, since week 1, the Raiders are hopefully going to have the most healthy this offense has been. Yeah, Foster is still a little bit of a coin flip. But you know what, man? If I got Adams, I got Waller, I got Hunter Renfrow, and then you got a healthy Josh Jacobs, you can beat Kansas City. So it's good news that both of those guys are expected to play because this offense, I definitely think, has missed Renfrow over the past 2 weeks. Now, if you love betting on the Raiders, if you love betting on NFL games, shout out to our sports book partner, BetUS. We got one of the best deals, if not the best deal on the internet. So if you go to chatsports.com/Raiders, you see that link down there? You got to go to that link. You got to use promo code Raiders125. It's going to get you 125% deposit bonus. But here's the thing, y'all. That's not the only offer that we're hooking you guys up with. Until kickoff, for first-time BetUS users, if you get started at chatsports.com/Raiders and you use promo code Raiders125, we're going to hook you up with a free Raiders jersey. Yeah, I know. It's pretty incredible. Imagine a world where you put down 100, you get 125 for free to bet with, and then you're also going to get a free Raiders jersey. That's how amazing this deal is. Now, this deal has nothing to do with BetUS, so please, you don't need to ask them about it. It's from us at Chat Sports. We want to hook up the nation. So if all you heard was free jersey, there's an email right here, jersey@chatsports.com. Send me an email. We'll send you all the details, but I promise you, high-quality Nike jerseys. Bet on the Raiders. Put $5 down. You got nothing to lose, man. Put $5 down on the Raiders. You have nothing to lose. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, more injury news here. We're going to talk about Rocky Ya-Sin, who missed last week. Remember, he's dealing with a knee injury. He's expected to play. That's a really, really good sign in my book, the fact that he has not only a chance to play, but is expected to play. So now you're going to have him, Nate Hobbs. They're going to be your outside corners. Can't wait to see what Amik Robertson does after a very impressive game that he had last week. How can he continue to rebuild on that? Roderic Teamer did not participate earlier in the week on Thursday. He was able to practice in full over the past 2 days. So the good news is he's going to be out there. He's more of a special teams player, which if you're going to beat Kansas City, you need to have it in all three assets. Offense, defense, special teams. That's how you win these type of games. So it's a Week 5 Monday Night Football game. AFC West doesn't get any bigger. You win this game, you go to 2-3. You lose this game, you drop down to 1-4. I don't need to sit up here and tell you how big this game is. I know all of us just can't stand the Kansas City Chiefs, so if you could, give me an FKC down in the chat. But here's what I hope. I hope that you join me and you join Jeremy Chuggs on Monday because we're going to be bringing a credible, and I mean an incredible atmosphere for this game. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you know what? Usually we get started 30 minutes before kickoff. Nope. We're getting started 45 minutes before kickoff. Why? I can't wait for this pregame. I can't wait for this entire game. We're going to be cheering on Derek Carr. We're going to be cheering on with the entire team. If you can't get out to Kansas City and you're looking for that Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles tailgate vibe, we're going to have it here on the Raiders Report. So hit that subscribe button. I'll see you all tomorrow in FKC.